I'm a big believer in that parents are supposed to raise their kid to a point where they can finally be independent.
Welcome back to the mindfultea podcast. I'm your host, Thanrajan Premakumaran. I created this show to help support people struggling with mental health, grief, and trauma by encouraging open conversations that many are afraid to have. It's a show that helps people conquer the mind and body with an open heart. Today's guest speaker that I have for you is someone that I work with. I really admire him and his work ethic and the way he is as a person. He is one of 3 owners of Dark Protection and also one of 3 of the Academy, Ambitions Academy podcasts. He is my partner on the road with the Alberta Shares, Rayneet Karan.
That's me. Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name's Ray. Go by Ray. Pumped to be here, man.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, it's been a while. I know we always talk about this in the vehicle when we go do our thing, and now we're finally here. We're doing this, so.
Dude, I've been waiting for this day too.
I know. Well, what we want to talk about and get out there and off our shoulders and to help those that are watching is being that older sibling, the weight that we carry, that unspoken weight that us older siblings don't really talk about. Mm-hmm. But I want to get you out there and get you to express so that people know a little bit about you. Like, who is Ray?
Who is Ray?
Yeah.
Ray is the older sibling in his household.
Yeah.
I'm someone who's just a really lighthearted person. I love sports, play a lot of sports. I watch a lot of sports. Freshly engaged, having a wedding soon. And I work as a sheriff with Mr. Danny over here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of who I am briefly. So
yeah. How was growing up?
Growing up was good, but there was a lot of struggles, man. Like we talk about this all the time. Like our parents coming from a country that had nothing, coming to a country where they're figuring out how to do literally everything from top to bottom, especially at a young age, at like 18, 19 years old, and then having a kid at that age and figuring out how to balance their work and how to balance how they take care of me. Yeah. And not to say they did a bad job. I think they did good for what they could have done. Yeah. But the pressure growing up was tough, very, very tough, where I was just confused every single day up until high school. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know if I was doing anything right, if I was making decisions right, if I was doing something wrong. I would know that for sure because quick hit. Yeah. No, but just even in school, going into university, I didn't know what I was doing. I really thought I knew what I was doing. Till this day, I think it worked out well for me for how I kind of ended up. But like I said, I didn't have that reassurance from my family or cousins. Didn't have an older sibling to look up to to make decisions. So.
Yeah, I always felt like I was one of the oldest siblings to look up to or help guide me because, your parents are always busy trying to survive and do their own thing. They're struggling and they only know what they know or what they've been taught. Yeah. And here you are, like speaking for myself, you're just trying to figure out the way. Like, where am I going? What's my path? Yeah. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? Can someone show me? But then it ends up being this whole wave of a roller coaster.
100%.
And man, I honestly, for me, I don't know if it was like this with you, but I felt it's never enough. You know what I mean? You're doing enough, but it's not enough. And you land up being like this people pleaser.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, dude, I think I still feel like that.
Yeah.
Till this day, growing up, having my own place, having my own career, having my own life, I feel like I'm still trying to please my family, my grandparents, just to still provide the best I can for them. And I know I shouldn't be really doing it this much to this extent, but it's something I just can't stop. Yeah. Something I was so grown into that my job was just to listen to my mom and dad, do what they say, do as I'm told, and live my life and continue in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah, because then now you're you have your own place, you're married now. So how does it feel now just kind of just step away and kind of figure it out on your own without having that reassurance? Because I know we were talking about it a few days ago about, we used to reassure, I know I used to reassure my parents to make sure, hey, is this right? And whether what they say or the feedback that I got, I always thought, okay, that's it, right? But I never questioned it or stepped outside of that box because, again, it's you're trying to, you thought what the parents know is what they know, that is right. And But really, like, your parents don't really know everything.
They don't.
Like,
I
they only
feel
know
like,
what they know.
yeah,
what were
like
brought
they
up.
made themselves this figure that they are the only people we can go up to and talk to and get advice from. But it's only that way, that direction. It's the only thing we can listen to and nod our head and continue with their days.
Yeah.
But now, as per your question, being on my own now, honestly, I do feel like a lot of the weight has been lifted off my shoulders in a way where I'm still like, I feel like I'm not getting like, my parents are not on me, like on my shoulders, telling me what to do, what not to do. Not like they're not yelling at me or whatever the situation is. I do feel like I have that freedom now, which is really good. But even still living on my own, having my own family and doing all that stuff, I'm still back of my mind. Like, what else can I do to help them?
Yeah.
What else am I, like, I still want to give more to them, but I don't know what else to do because I don't know if I'm doing it right, if I'm doing it wrong, if I should do it, if I shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So how does it feel now, like, knowing that, okay, well, you're in this spot now, it's just you and your wife. Now you guys are trying to create your own life together as a family. How's that going? Like, how's that, well, stepping away? Because I know sometimes the family, like your immediate family, will try and chime in. I know mine does here and there once in a while, but not as much as it used to. And I think, like, as the older sibling, we're like that test trial baby. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one that breaks all barriers, all generational trauma and everything in between to set it up for your siblings. Because I know you have a brother, right?
A younger brother, yeah.
Yeah, and that's and I have like a brother and 2 sisters, so it's like it's like, here we are the goats, the sacrificial lamb, right?
Yeah.
And you know, as you see your siblings, you can't help but sit, but like, man, like, they got it pretty good. Like, and I don't to shit on their parade or hate on them, but it's just like, you know that you had a part in making that change for them to be able to experience what they're experiencing.
It's like how I always used to say it, like, we went through war so our siblings could literally walk freely. Yeah. Because that's right though, like, our parents, they did not know what they were doing. They had their own way of raising us. Like, they were strict. They came from another country. They wanted us to be the best way we could. I get it. Being the test sibling, it's not so fun because like, everything does fall onto you.
Yeah.
Like, responsibility, or what's he going to do in school? What's he going to become one day? How's he going to be able to take care of us? Is he going to have money one day? But everything's put onto us like right away. We have to be that provider from like a very young age and learn how to be that provider actually. Where like now we have a younger sibling who is born and brought into that picture. It's a bit lenient on them.
Yeah.
Everything's, in my perspective, is already provided to them. Mainly because I think me and you have given so much to our younger siblings. Like, this is like your framework, follow it.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for them, right? Like, we didn't have that, which is which is like, I would used to get upset at before. Yeah. I'm like, come on, I wanted that framework. I wanted something to be given to me for once. Yeah. But I worked for it. But like, our siblings, they come in, it's just there for them. There you go.
Because I know of, like, with the Aaron, like my brother or my sisters, they would watch and they'll see the successes that I've made, and then the failures and where I got in trouble or where it kind of went downhill. And I know they watched, they learned, and they took that information and they kind of grew from that to make sure that didn't occur for them. I know for sure your brother is probably the same way. Thing, yeah. So where I was going with that, it's like, where was I going with that? It's that wow, just had a brain freeze right there. Where I was going with that is that even though I feel that for that, I'm grateful for it to happen. Like, I don't think I wouldn't be where I'm at, nor you. I think it's the same, because we talked about this. We wouldn't be where we're at if we had not gone through that, being that older sibling. In a way, it feels like you have to. Because I remember it was like 9. I was 9, and it's like I didn't really get to experience what a 9-year-old is or how can be in the world, right? I had to step into the man role, and because my dad had to come to the UK, not to the UK, but to Canada, to make sure life was good here before he moved us all over to Canada. So my childhood got cut short, but I used to dread and hate it. Because, like, you know, you see all the other kids doing their own things. And like you said, you touched on it a bit, like you see your siblings and your sibling. and they have like this path, and it's like a lot more lenient, and then you're sitting there, you're like, man, I wish I got to experience that, but at the same time you got to experience, I guess, basically manhood a lot quicker than most, right? For you, what was the turning point? When did you realize, hey, you know what, like I can't be this child right now, I got to step into this?
I think for me was actually this last couple of years, man. It was more recent than anything, where after I kind of moved out myself, and that's where I would just like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Start thinking about yourself. Start doing something you want to do. Because, so obviously, being a sheriff now, my mom never wanted me to be anything in law enforcement. She talked me out of it at 17 years old. And I took accounting. She's like, no, go be in accounting.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
And I hated my life, bro. Like, when I say hated it, I actually hated it. Without my parents knowing, I dropped out a year and a half in, right before I got my diploma in it, actually. I dropped out. They thought I was still going to school. I got my security license. I got a whole bunch of security jobs. And then from there, applied to corrections, and luckily worked out in my favor, and I got in.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of went behind my parents' back, probably for the first time in my life. But them not wanting me to do that, after finding out I got the job, they were like the happiest people ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, it's the opposite of what you would thought would
Yeah,
go
because
down.
like I wanted that support from the beginning.
Yeah.
But it just sucked. It was like at the end that I got it type of thing. But yeah, the turning point was around that, when I made that decision for myself. And when I bought my own place, when I was just like, no, I'm going to be living with someone soon. I got to start putting her first, start to cater to her needs and our family that we want to build in this near future. I think that's where my parents even recognized that I'm doing my own thing now.
Yeah.
And I'm not just listening to them like I used to as a kid.
Yeah, you almost feel like as if you're a free bird now, but you're still learning along
100%.
the way, because it's like...
Still learning on my own.
Yeah. Wow. Well, how's the relationship now, like with your parents now that you're...
Dude, so much better.
Yeah.
More recently than before, but I think not seeing them now every day made them, I think, appreciate me more, and also me appreciate them way, way more. Stepping back now, being on my own and facing my own struggles, like, you know, paying for a house, mortgage, work, whatever, the basic needs of life. Thinking back to see how they even did it, coming from nothing, and to build the foundation they built. I don't know if I could even do it the way they did it, because looking back, I appreciate them more. We talk more freely, more than anything, more recently now. Yeah. We just went on a vacation, actually just last month, and me and my dad opened up. We talked about all the trauma for the last 27 years. And just, it was probably the best conversation. Yeah. Like we saw each other's perspective. It was weird at first, very weird, because I'm not someone who opens up like that to people, but it's really weird, too, right? Very different.
It's a different time, like especially like our parents then, like to be able to open up, it's hard to even get any emotion out, really. Yeah. But to be able to get that and have that experience with your dad, I think that's beautiful. And
it was, because like, you know, growing up watching a dad come from another country alone, but they're like this man. They don't complain. They don't say nothing. Yeah. They just figure it out. They work and provide for the family. Obviously, they're never home. The mom takes care of the child. That's kind of how like my life was growing up, right? Also with my brother coming into the picture later on. But now I think seeing what the things I want to change for myself, I don't want to be that fully. Like I still want to be the man, but I still want to be able to talk. Yeah. And express. Like one day I have a kid, I really want to be his friend. Yeah. Like I want to be his homie. Like if something's wrong, I want to be with him, beside him. I want to take him for his first drink at a bar, like, you know, like things like that. Yeah. Something I would want to change for myself. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I see. Usually even saying that, I see myself doing that with my kids, like, because it's like, I think as an older sibling, you experience a lot more, not just with the family, but like within yourself, emotionally and physically, and what you're going through. So then, like, for an example, like there are things that my son and my daughter will do, and it'll throw me into like this whole like this time travel of when I used to do that. Yeah. And how did I feel and what was the response that I got from my parents. And I'm like, okay, well, I remember how I felt. I didn't feel so great, or I was upset here, or I was happy here. And I'll try and create the environment that was needed, say for myself, who I needed at that point, but for my kids.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to break that mold. So like you said, when they get older, they are more emotionally intelligent, but they're also able to just open up and share with me. And there's no, like, like right now, even till this day, like I feel like if I was to try to open up with my parents, I can open up with my mom a lot more because we have more of a deeper relationship. But with my dad, it's getting there, but it's
still so tough.
It's tough, and it's taking time. And you know what? Sometimes I feel like time. Lately, I've been feeling like time is more valuable, and like I'm always trying to get more time. But you know, I guess I am, like, I just did a podcast with him just before you, and like that was the first time I think I've ever sat down and had a conversation with him and open up, and you know, at least I take that leap and that step. Maybe he can meet me halfway, and I think he did pretty well. So I'm just trying to hope that eventually it gets more to that point. Because then it not only just for me and my mental state, but it also shows like the kids like, hey, this is how a relationship between father and son is, and so forth, and they can pass that down along the road when they have their own kids.
No, 100%. I think we even touched on this before. Like me and you, as like the older sibling, we both feel it. We were both meant to be here to break a lot of barriers in our families.
Yeah.
To change how things were before and make it so much more acceptable for now.
Yeah.
Right? Because like I feel like for us too, like for my mom and my dad, we all even agreed to this too. Like every time me and my dad had an issue or something was going on, we could never directly talk to each other. My mom was like the person who would bounce off information to go to the other one.
Yeah.
And it would work actually for the longest time.
Yes.
Dude, like for the longest time, it actually worked. And it was like an unspoken thing. Cool. My mom will handle it. Same thing probably for him.
Yeah.
She'll handle it. But that's actually really unhealthy.
Yes. That's
not good at all, man. That's you're just kind of avoiding the person, and that just makes you resent the person a little bit, or not trust the person, or it just shows like it shows fear at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just glad now that changed for me a bit.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I still go to my mom.
Yeah.
But at least now I can still put my head up high and talk to my dad if I can.
Yeah.
If I need to, sorry.
I think you have to. Like, I think especially with our culture, or just not even just our culture, it's just the people that are in the same boat. Like that fear, that feeling the uncomfortable, like it's not natural. It feels not natural at all, right? And in order to make it natural, you got to make it natural by stepping out of your comfort zone and taking that leap. And yeah, sure, at the beginning, like even the podcast, I was nervous as hell. Like the whole entire time I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to say with my dad? What am I going to express? And I'll say what I got to say. If he hears it, he hears it. If he doesn't, hey, it's at least I'm working on it, and eventually we will get there, right? So I think in order to break that chain and to live that life, I think you have to break that mold. You got to get comfortable in that fear, in that maybe, hey, it might not work out as how you want it, or whatever image that you have in your mind of how it will play out. Just go with the flow, basically, right? And see how it goes, and just kind of take it day by day, right?
How about for you? How about like since you moved out, got married, maybe had kids, how was the dynamic with you and your family around then?
Oh, that's a good question. At the first, it was tough. The beginning was like, I think my especially my mom had a hard time to accept that, hey, the oldest is stepping out, and he's gonna do his own thing. He has his own wife. So at first, it was kind of whatever. My dad, not so much. I think my dad was just like, he'll figure it out. You know what I mean? he'll find his way. And my dad's always been like that. And he's right. I've always found my way at the end of the day. But over time, I think it changed. I think it changed drastically, especially when Kai was born. And I remember I was sharing with you like the experience of like our firstborn. I wish it was and this is not to, like, I'm not trying to discredit my parents or make them look bad. Like, again, I want you guys to understand that my parents are grown. They were taught the way they were taught by the way they were brought up in the environment that they brought up. They only know what they know, right? That's basically it. Like, and that's something that I had learned to accept down the road, which took some time. But during the time when my daughter was born and holding her and realizing, holy crap, I'm a dad, like these uncontrollable emotions, and seeing my wife like calling me out, but also happy. And, now we're a family, to slowly having it stripped away so quickly, because my parents were thought, they thought, like, they believe in astrology. My parents are Hindu. So they try to put in like, hey, your name has to be, the name for the child has to be a certain name in order for good luck for them to grow, to be prosperous, or they have to be like this, or you got to do this and this. And they were putting in their suggestions where it felt like being that parent, that first time parent, and having that moment was just gone so quickly. So there was and being the oldest too, so it's like the whole, like, this was like a first time experience for them, and for us too, and like it threw me off. So like there was there was basically, I was caught in the middle between my wife and my mom and my parents. So it's like I had to choose between my wife and my newborn that just came into this world, and then my parents, right? And their thought process, and something that I have been so used to growing up to, right? So like I had to step away and fight that in order to show that, hey, like, okay, well, I'm starting my own thing with my wife and my kid, and it took years, like, for it to kind of slowly shift and change. Was there finally an understanding at the end of the whole thing? Yes and no. Like, did I get the understanding that I wanted? No, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna ask for it to be as perfect. Like, they only can give what they can express and what they can they can share. But I think after that, the experience of me moving away and them kind of stepping back changed from that big experience from there. And then over time, it's just like, now my brother just had a baby, and I'm so grateful for him and his wife. But at the same time, like, I think I was also telling you too, like, I felt the experience, like, I wish I had that, and, but again, like, I set that, that's the tone of how it should be, because at the end of the day, like, I can't enforce what my parents wish or hope, right? Even though they're coming in with good intention. Here, my wife has her own upbringing and the way she does things, her whole family of upbringing, how they do things. So there has to be a mutual understanding, and at some point, it's, you got to kind of cut both, and then just create your own story together. And that's ever since then, I think that's the big changing point.
Like, listen to that. It's something like I want to take on, like, one day when I'm a parent, is I'm a big believer in that parents are supposed to raise their kid to a point where they can finally be independent.
Yes.
Right? I feel like that is where you kind of, once your child is obviously ready, raise them to be independent, and they should be able to make their own decisions, make their own mistakes, figure it out themselves as well. Like in our culture, like being brown, being Hindu, for us, it's tough to do that, because like we're just raised with all the family lives together all the time. You live by a big house, everyone lives together. The older child stays in this house, takes care of the family, and takes care of the wife and the kids. Right. And that's something where I think I broke that barrier with my family, was when I decided on buying my place. I think they were taken back because they expected me, or maybe wanted me to stay with them a lot longer than they expected me to leave. But then I even explained to them, like, I'm dating someone now. Like, we're going to be engaged soon. We want to build our own life together. And it was kind of hard, I think, for them to understand it in the beginning, because I know the whole dynamic with that changed with my brother as well. Because, like, being in, like, a family of 4, we're all really close. We all play together all the time. Like, we're always just together. And I think with my brother, it changed even because I left to start my own family, and he was kind of left alone now in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like that kind of bothered him and changed his personality or his mentality a little bit of, oh man, my brother's leaving us. He's not supposed to leave us.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't blame him for feeling like that. That's like a lot of siblings who would feel like that after you leave.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I could, as well as you could pick your wife and your family to create your own thing.
Yeah.
Where for me at that point, I chose myself to create my own life, and where it kind of blossomed after that, where people came into my life, like a fiance after, a house, like everything. So I'm glad I did it, or else I would have regretted it for sure.
Yeah. No, I think that's the right move in your aspect, because you're knowing from working with you, like you're trying to grow and level up, and you know, like the old traditional ways with today's society. Yes, have a bit of tradition, have a bit of class, have that, but to a certain degree, it works, right?
Yeah.
Especially in today and nowadays, like you can't really implement it or use it because it doesn't work. Like you could say, okay, wife, you stay home, do this, and you know, you stay and cook and look after the kids and blah blah blah. You go to work, and that doesn't really work nowadays.
No.
Like you need both people to work. You need both people to see the same eye to eye. You can have your home like I've had my family, like not my family, but my wife's side of the family come stay with us here and there, and I was there to help them along the way. But that kind of reminds me of, like, you kind of touched on it too. In our culture, usually you would expect the parents and cousins and your whole relatives to stay with this big mansion of a house that you have,
Yeah.
and you're going to look after the whole people. But I found at the time, even when I had some, and it's not to, again, I'm not trying to shit on my family, but it's just that you lose a part of yourself, because it's like you cannot be truly yourself, especially being the oldest. Like you're still trying to figure out yourself, like, who am I? But how can I be myself when, okay, now I'm starting a family, right? And then I have my immediate family in the house. So how do I bring my true authentic self into this picture?
Because you're still stuck there.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like this constant battle and fight. And it's like, you know what? I think the only way you can really survive through this is you have to step away, right? And not in bad intent or ill intent, but like step away for yourself, for you and your family and what you're trying to build. Because at the end of the day, you're only living this life for yourself.
I know, it's
right.
That's true. I hate hearing that, because like I love hearing that, but I hate it because when I did it, all my external outside family were like, oh, this guy's so selfish.
Yes.
He's leaving his family.
Yeah.
What kind of older son leaves his family?
And
I'm just like, excuse you? Who are you to say anything, first of all? And second, like it's time for me to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who I even am at this point.
Yeah.
I know my hobbies. I know the things I like to do, but there's a lot of things I want to accomplish on my own. Like everything I've accomplished as yourself with work and your bodybuilding journey, you did it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had no one holding your hand.
Yeah.
Same thing like with me with soccer, all my life stuff, work, was all on my own. No one held my hand when I did it. Like I want to do more on my own, right? But I have to be alone to do it, not be stuck with my parents yelling or nagging over me, or like my brother. Like, you know, if your family just nagging over you, you want your independence.
Yes.
And I feel like everyone should do that at one point in their life. But then when people, the outside noise, when they start saying, oh, this guy's selfish, he's not even thinking about anyone. He only thinks about himself now. What kind of guy is he? What kind of person is he? That's what bothered me a lot in that transition situation for me.
Yeah, that bothered me too, because I had the same experience. But you know what? Like, I think of it this way. It's like, I have to step away. I need to do this. I need to heal me. I need to figure myself out. So then when I figure that shit out, then I can bring the best version of me. I can bring that version. So like, it's not like I'm cutting ties for good with my family or my friends, but how can I give you my true self and be myself if I haven't even figured that out? And the only way to do it is by stepping away and figuring that out, like, you know, building that life with your family, with your wife, with your kids, and then being able to come back and be like, hey, this is who I am. I made it. Like, I did this. Like, you talked about accounting. I went to Nate's, by the way, to go take and get my BBA accounting degree.
Yes, I went to Nate.
And like the whole time I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, I like numbers. I like doing this. But I know it was fed by my parents because they thought this would be the best route.
It's because they liked it. You thought you were going to like it too.
That too. And I think also they don't want to see me struggle. They don't want to see me go down where it's like, because they've experienced what they've experienced.
Yeah, of course.
So this worked for them. So, hey, do this, follow this path. If you listen to everything I say, then you're not going to experience this, what I have experienced, right? When I did accounting, sat behind the table on the desk, plugged away on the numbers and everything. And I'm just like, man, this is, at first I was like, yeah, I'm making my family happy. I'm doing what I did. But man, I'm like, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I am feeling so like shit, like not myself.
Oh man. Yeah.
Hating my life, trying to figure out like, really, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Meanwhile, doing that, like I am working security and I'm just like, oh, I like this, a little hands-on, making a little bit of a difference here and there. But let's see how far I can take it. And I wanted to become a police officer. So I ended up getting into like the sheriffs. I did up working for EPS for a bit there, but didn't really work out with my work life and family life balance. So I came back to the sheriffs. And like, yeah, I learned quite a lot from the sheriffs, and it opened up a whole nother door and an avenue for me and how I am as a person. And I think it also showed like my parents, like, hey, you made it your own, like you did it. But now I have this podcast. I have great guys like Cody and you guys, and that all believe in me and see a vision of me and see the best of me. And like now I'm just trying to get to where I need to get to bring that, so I can feed everyone else and show my parents that, hey, I didn't have to follow that way.
So do you feel like after you left your parent family to build yourself, do you feel like you have your own identity now?
Actually, yeah, I do now. Like I more and more, as especially now, like my mom was just here. She's here downstairs, and we're talking. She's like, you look a lot different. Like you look more like you know who you are, more confident, and you know where you're going. And I was like, oh fuck, that's a plus, because I usually don't hear that, and usually in my mind I can get so caught up in my head sometimes in my own noise, and I'm like, fuck, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I heading in the right space or the right path that I'm trying to get to? And I think I am, and I think I'm a lot more confident in my ability and where I'm trying to go, and I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm just trying to right now I'm enjoying being here in this moment, and wherever this takes me, I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, right? I'm with you with that, man. Just trying to figure it out, man. Keep going, something new opportunities. Yeah. Just attack it and keep doing new things, man. I'm like this. I think we have the same pretty mindset, right? Just doing new things on our own, figuring it out. Yeah. Having good support that actually believe in us around us. Yeah. Can't really ask for much more.
No, you can't, because I mean, at the end of the day, like you live this life once, but you die once, right? Mm-hmm. And why not make the best of it by going out with a bang, right?
I agree. But what stuck out to me was what you just said, was that confidence you feel after you've done it on your own, or you feel like you're doing stuff on your own. Yeah. It's a game changer, because, dude, when I lived with my family, dude, I don't think I had any confidence. I was always doubting myself with any decision.
Yeah. Yeah, that I felt that for sure, because I felt like every time, even though I knew, I wanted to reassure with my parents or with someone, even if it's not my parents, it has been so ingrained in my body, in my mind, that like even at times at work, I'm like, is this right? Right? Rather than being confident and like, you know what, this call that I made, it's right. I and it lands up being right, Sometimes it's not right, but I learn from it. And like, I think that was the point of, I think, just the fear of rejection. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And I haven't been used to that at all. So I had to step into that and get rejected like how many freaking times, just to be like, okay, you know what?
Yeah, because your parents just can't either hold your hands or tell you what's wrong and right every single time. Mm-hmm. You have to figure it on your own, man. You have to, you got to trust your gut, man. You do. I was so many times in my life where I was so scared to answer something, even though my gut said one thing and I should have gone with that answer. Yeah. But I was same as you, always double thinking my answers, because I'm raised one way to think a certain type of way.
Yeah. Oh man, no, that's good though. Like for you, like what? So now, what do you do? Like, because I know you're just starting out and you're slowly spreading your wings and you're soaring. So what do you do? Is there like a morning ritual you do, or is there some things that you do to help keep you on that path of where you're trying to head to build more confidence and get to where you need to get to?
I think the same thing I've been doing, man. Like I even made it clear to my parents actually not too long ago, was it's time for me to put my woman first now and build this. So that's my priority, is now just be there for my family or my future family that I'm going to create. That's my number one goal.
Yeah.
Like when I wake up in the morning, similar things, like I don't really change up too much stuff, but my mentality is I have to get all these things done in my day. Get my work done. If I'm going to the gym, make sure I go to the gym, or if I have a soccer practice or a soccer game, I have to go. I'm not going to skip it just because I'm lazy. Like things like that, I keep my things very basic and normal.
Yeah.
But like even when I started my podcast with the two other boys, I have another thing that came on and what I took on was an opportunity.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm going to grab onto it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's another thing that we're just trying to figure out soon here.
Yeah.
Opportunity that came up that I want to grab onto that too and expand with that. Like my thing right now is not shutting anything down.
Yeah.
Now is like anything that comes in front of me, I do want to just grab it and take it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Before, I was very complacent to a point where I did not.
Yeah.
I would just stay stuck. I was like, no, I have a job. I'm at home. I'm good.
I was like this too. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But for the longest time, it's because that's how I was raised. Right. It's like my dad didn't let me quit Tim Hortons. I hated that job with a passion for 5-6 years. He's like, no, you're not allowed to quit. I was like, why? He's like, no, it's a job. Got to keep it no matter what. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But that was like a fear I had growing up. Or like if I wanted to go to a new soccer team, my dad would be like, nope, just stay with this team. But you know, you want to try new things.
Yeah.
Or be seeking gel around different people or different teams. Where now I thankfully take my own advice, is like, no, I want to try these new things. If I want to play for a new team, I will. If I want to take this new opportunity on, I will. It's because that just where my mentality is now.
Do you feel like you stepping out of the comfort zone and taking these leaps, these steps, did it build your confidence up?
Way more.
Yeah.
Way more. I can literally like go home with my head up, held high.
Yeah.
I can go to places, be around my friends. I can be at different Fijian functions, Indian functions, and I'm not that shy kid no more. Like my head is high.
Yeah.
People come up to me now. Like a lot of young kids, actually what I've always wanted was mainly because of getting a job now and the things I'm doing. They come up to me and ask me how work is, what steps they can become to be in law enforcement, or how they kind of look at me as like a role model figure in my community.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that more recently, like the last couple of years, and I think it's the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
So I do feel like the confidence grew. I became way more independent.
Yeah.
I make my own decisions now. It's different. Like it was a big change.
Yeah.
But it's something I know I had to do.
Yeah.
To finally, if I can do that much, I know I'm good enough to have my own family one day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm feeling and I'm put on right now.
Yeah, because I think a few days ago, I was thinking like, man, God forbid if anything was to happen to my parents and I'm still like the old way, then how am I going to be once they're gone? Like, how am I going to be there for my family and my kids if I don't step out of this shell?
Yeah.
Right. And you taking a leap, you definitely build confidence, but you also definitely learn more. I guess let me reword that. You learn more about yourself in order to build that confidence.
Yeah, you learn a lot of skills.
Yeah.
Being away from home or like being on your own.
Yeah.
And then you ever did being surrounded by your family. Like I think I've learned way more about life itself being on my own than I ever did while like being with my parents. Like my parents did the best, raising me, gave me food, educated me, put me into sports and stuff, which is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But actual life, I think I learned on my own after I left.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like that's, I guess your parents are just like mine. Like I'm grateful for all the opportunities that they have given me and put me into all these activities, and it has shaped me to who I am. But you know, it's funny. I laugh now because it's like in your mind you play this story like if I do the opposite of my parents, what my parents are telling me, this and this is gonna happen. I'm gonna get this backlash. I'm gonna get beat. I'm gonna this and
Something's
that.
gonna happen. Yeah.
But then when you actually take that leap and you actually bet on yourself, and then you see, oh shit, this is working, and then all of a sudden you kind of come back with like the feedback to your parents, and they're nothing but happy.
Yeah, the personality changes. Your opinion changes.
Yeah, you're just like, holy crap, was I just overthinking that like the whole entire time? Like, was I built off of fear that, you know, I'm going to get yelled at, beat, this and this and this? So, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, you really got to, like, test the boundary and just get out there and just do you and not worry about it.
Are you glad that you were that person in your family, the older sibling in your family? Like, are you happy to be that person?
To be the oldest sibling? At first, no. I dreaded it. I hated it. Like, I always wanted someone older, just so I don't have that weight.
Yeah.
But I would always hang out with like the older kids. Like, I'll be in grade 10 and I'm hanging out with the grade 12s, and people are like, yo, what the hell? It's because I felt way too mature for my age, and that's because partly having to put on the man hat to step into that father role, or being like the one that's like there, while my dad is doing his own thing, trying to get the family up and going, and I'm looking after my mom and my siblings. So yeah, at first I dreaded it, but now, like, currently I love it. I wouldn't change it. I believe strongly, like, I had to go through that in order for me to be who I am today.
100%.
Like, if I didn't go through that, I don't think I would know or be having the spiritual mindset that I have, or the mindset that I have to do what I'm doing, even doing this right now.
Like, you feel way more appreciative too.
Yes. Yeah, a lot more appreciative, a lot more understanding that why my parents were the way they are, why they made certain calls, and the reasoning behind it, and then also to heal from it too, because sometimes there's things that were done or said, and you're just like, man, like, yeah, right.
You're turning on the inside with the poker face.
And you touched on it too, like, you hold like resentment. So then you slowly put a filter in your heart and how you are towards your mom or your dad or certain siblings in the house. But eventually, like, that just all dissipated. Like, that's gone. Like, I'm just happy that I'm alive. I'm well. I got to experience what I experienced, and I don't know, and I'm still learning along the way. Life is still like school for me, so I'm still learning.
100%. Like, I've said this before too. It's like that older sibling spot.
Yeah,
is like the most thankless position you can be in.
Yeah,
very thankless, because like people really don't realize how much you actually do. Like, when it comes to your siblings, right? I think that's a big one for me, was without my parents or even my own sibling realizing it, you do a lot for them. Whether it's giving them an interview for something, or getting them liked from your friends, or getting them a job because people like you, like certain situations, whatever the situation is.
You do this from the heart, though.
It is only from the heart.
Always from the heart. You're not expecting anything from return.
Never. I would never would.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like that's my job. Like, it's, like, as a brother, as the person in the family, like, if my parents need help too, that's my job to go help them.
You step into that position.
My brother needs help, or he's struggling with an interview, or if he wants, I don't know, like, to practice soccer skills, it's my job to go help him, right? Like, no one else. Like, that's my responsibilities because I want to do it.
Yeah.
Right. But then when you're doing all this, like, you don't get like that, I'm proud of you, son, for teaching him. I'm proud of you. I'm so happy you're doing this. No.
Yeah.
Like, the younger sibling will get, I'm proud of you for learning this.
Yeah.
For us, like, we don't really get that. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Love you. Like, all that mushy stuff that we've always wanted growing up.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's good because, as like you said, shaped me to be myself, to learn little skills, like to deal with feelings on my own, to be a man on my own, like little things. Like, I feel like I learned a lot on my own because of those reasons.
Yeah. I think actually recently my siblings have been telling me that they're proud of me, and it threw me off because I'm just like, whoa, like I didn't expect that, but just to see that they see me,
that's good.
Now, like, they don't see me just as an older brother, they actually see me. It makes me feel like, it feels good inside, like, hey.
No, man, even seeing you from when I first met you 5-6 years ago now, maybe, give or take, from where you were and everything you've done since then to where you are now. The stuff you overcame at work, through your bodybuilding journey, to like your confidence, to us now being like one of the closest friends at work and stuff together. Like, I'm proud of you too, bro, because you did well, man. You've been killing it. Since I've been knowing. Like, you're a good person to look up to, and I always do.
Thanks.
So I wanted to let you know that, man.
Oh, thank you, bro, man. You're gonna get me in my feelings now. Like,
no,
I remember you saw me on my lowest. Holy crap, yeah. But you know what? We're here now.
We made it.
Yeah, we definitely make it, and we're still gonna.
We're making it. Yeah. But like, we made it to this moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But we know where we're going, and like you said, we were talking about what we were planning on to do on our next adventure. So I can't wait for that. I'm gonna ask you though, like, as we get close to the show near the end here, what's one tip or advice you would give to those that are in the same similar situation, being that older sibling, but struggling to kind of step out?
For me, is still do what you're doing, to still be there for your family, still support them the best you can.
Yeah.
But take that leap of faith and put yourself first. Finally, my biggest advice is, like, it's gonna be tough, but if you want to leave and start something new, do it. Because I feel like you only owe it to yourself to do all that stuff
100%.
for never putting yourself first growing up. It is time, like, for you, if you really want to have your heart set on something, step out and do it yourself. Listen to yourself, trust your gut, and I promise you, at the end, your parents are gonna laugh, they'll be happy, they're gonna smile. Any success you bring after you that you do on your own is a bigger success that they could have even given you. They only want that for the child to do more than they were already provided before.
Yeah.
So I think my advice is just step out and listen to yourself and trust your gut.
Beautiful and very true. That resonates heavily, but yes, very true. I agree. If you guys like what you heard today and you felt like that resonated with you, I want you to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe for more content. As always, much love. Peace.
Peace.